Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Handhelds. I'm Joey, and today we're going to be looking at the GMKtec KB2 Max Mini PC. Getting the specs out of the way now before anything else, and this is an i5-11320H 4.5 GHz processor. We're running Windows 11 Pro here, there's a 1TB M2 NVMe drive inside, and that can be upgraded to a maximum of 2TB, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, Intel Iris graphics, and the other usual stuff of Gigabyte LAN, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, USB 3.2 ports, and there's also 2 HDMI ports on this for dual display. All of this is at a current price of $299 from Amazon directly. This device was sent to me for review by GMKtec, but as usual, they haven't seen this video ahead of time, and they've had no input in anything I say. Taking a look inside the box, and we have the mini PC, of course. And then under that, we have a manual, the power cables, a warranty card, an adapter for a drive, and some screws for mounting. Let's take a look at the ports on the device. On the front, we have the power button, headphone jack, Thunderbolt 4 port, and 2 USB 3.2 ports. On the side is an SD card slot, which is actually awesome to see. On the back is the DC port, 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, another set of USB 3.2 ports, and a gigabit LAN port. On the bottom is some vent holes and some screw holes for mounting. Taking a look at the benchmarks here, and we have the Geekbench 6 scores for CPU. We're at 2064 for single core and 6122 for multi-core. On the GPU side, we're at an OpenCL score of 14306. For Time Spy, we're at 1670. Which is actually above average for this hardware. Let's jump into some games, and we'll start with some small indies first. Running Dave the Diver here, and not that I expected any different, but we're running perfectly. After my last mini PC review, I have to start off small instead of starting off at the end. I don't imagine this will have any issues running any indies, but it's always good to test. And so, with a more action-packed indie, here's Dead Cells, and as expected, we're at a pretty low wattage and running at a perfect 60. This also just feels very smooth to play, so it's a good experience. Now we jump into Hades, and it's more of the same, but with a much higher wattage. All 3 games so far have felt really smooth, and no concern on my part, so let's try out some higher ones. In the spirit of Halloween, here's Little Nightmares 2 Enhanced Edition. and we're running all on low and not at a full 60. It's close enough to be more than playable for most, but even on low, it can't get that constant full speed. So let's look at Persona 5 Royal next, and this is all on high, and you might need to drop down to medium to get a constant 60, but otherwise this is a really smooth 60 with only occasional dips, and a really good way to play this. Jumping up again into a modern game, Lies of P runs at 30-ish frames with everything on low here. It actually doesn't feel half bad at this frame rate, but it's obviously not full speed, and maybe for a game like this you'd want it to be. Looking at the emulation side, and we can easily play GameCube and Wii at 720p and above, as you can see from F-Zero GX, and we're using Vulkan here. Picking the hardest stage and one of the harder games to emulate, so I can imagine that pretty much the entire GameCube catalog would be playable here and easily, as well as you can do upscaled if you'd like. So jumping up further than that, and we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Wii U, and we're at a perfect 60 throughout. But of course, the real test is Breath of the Wild. And while it's not at a full 60, we're still running it way better than the Wii U ever did.
Head for the point marked on the map your ship is late.
For some closing thoughts here, I think if you're in the market for a mini PC that can do quite a bit of gaming, this seems like a pretty good option. Don't expect to play some of the newer titles at full speed, but you could have a great time with emulation here, as well as indies and some older titles as well. As I get more and more mini PCs in, let me know if there's anything else you want me to test or do in these videos. I'm still trying to find a good rhythm in what to show and what to do. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow, and hope you all have a good one.